Well, good morning. My name's Kurt Myers. I'm the Deputy Secretary for Driver and Vehicle Services at Penndot. Here with me today is Brent Lawson, our Risk Management Director, Sarah Baker, our Real ID Director, and Kara Templeton, our Director of the Bureau of Driver Licensing. We're pleased to be here today to remind our residents the driver license and identification products are in the process of transitioning into a new design with some additional security enhancements, and discuss the importance of fraud prevention as well as the Real ID deadline. Penndot remains vigilant in taking proactive measures to mitigate fraud such as identity theft by updating our security features regularly with state-of-the-art elements of our Pennsylvania driver's license and identification card. Penndot takes its role as stewards of public safety very seriously for both the Commonwealth roadways as well as also for our residents' identity. The integrity of our products and services is important as they are used to allow permission, privilege, or authority to carry out tasks or to be able to travel or enter a physical space. Because of the value of these products, people may attempt to obtain or duplicate them by fraudulent means. I'll now turn it over to Brent Lawson to talk more about our security features and fraud prevention. Brent?
Good morning. As Deputy Secretary Myers mentioned, I am Brent Lawson, and I'm the Risk Management Director for Driver and Vehicle Services at Penndot. As a measure to help protect against counterfeiting, fraud, and identity theft, Penndot makes periodic improvements to its products and processes. And we are currently updating the design and enhancing the security features of its driver's license and identification card products. We know fraudsters want counterfeit or fraudulently issued products for the value and benefits they provide. These unlawful products can be used to conceal their identity, mask their place of residence, and perpetuate additional fraudulent acts for personal gain. We began piloting the new products at the Somerdale Driver License Center in Enola on September 12, 2022. Since then, another 10 locations have started issuing the new products. All the driver license centers and photo centers statewide will transition to the new products by mid-November 2022. The new products will be phased in during our renewal cycles and will replace existing products. Both current and new card designs will be in circulation during this transition period. The cards look different and have additional enhanced security features that improve fraud prevention and protect from counterfeiting and alteration. Some of these enhanced security features include a gauche security design, which is a feature that includes sophisticated techniques to embed a variety of customized security patterning into the credential using non-commercial software developed specifically for high-security documents, such as banknotes, passports, and ID cards. Also, optically variable ghost portrait and variable data with UV. These are features that change their appearance when the viewing angle of the card changes, which moves them from fully visible to non-visible. The card also includes an ultraviolet UV response that fluoresces under UV lighting. The UV response is fixed, visible under UV light regardless of the viewing angle. There's also a dynamic look-through element, which is a dynamic feature with gold metallic tint that is visible under direct lighting. Additionally, both standard and Real ID compliant products will use the design and security features. Again, the update is an important component of Penndot's ongoing work to enhance and protect the integrity of the driver license and identification card issuance process. As we roll out this new product, we also want to remind Pennsylvanians, especially as school and fall activities pick up, to practice safety with their driver license and ID cards. We see many counterfeit products produced to mimic Penndot's licenses and ID cards. All of these measures are important enhancements to fight against fraudulent driver's license or identification cards being produced or used. Fraudulently obtaining and using these counterfeit products can have an adverse impact on highway safety and national security, so the need to deter and detect fraud is of paramount importance. These new security features make it more difficult to produce a fraudulent product. As a reminder, identity theft crime is on the rise, causing nationwide concern. Do not divulge your personal information or credit card number to anyone over the phone, through the mail, or over the internet unless you initiated the call. I will now turn it over to Sarah Baker to talk more about Real ID. Sarah?
Good morning. My name is Sarah Baker, and I'm the Real ID Director for the Driver and Vehicle Services at Penndot. During this time, Penndot encourages all Pennsylvanians to make the personal decision if they want or need to obtain a Real ID by the deadline. or will use an alternative form of approved documentation like a passport, especially if your product is currently up for renewal. Real ID is optional in Pennsylvania. PennDOT continues and will continue to offer standard issue driver's licenses and photo IDs. I'm proud to say that PennDOT has issued over 1.8 million Real ID products since they became available in March of 2019. If you're interested in getting a Real ID, as a first step, we encourage our customers to visit our website at www.penndot.pa.gov, where you will find a lot of helpful information about the documentations you need. In order to get a Real ID, PennDOT needs to verify the following documents. We need to see an original proof of identity document, which can be a certified birth certificate or raised and embossed seal, or a valid unexpired passport. You will also need, in addition, we will need to see your Social Security card with your full legal name. At that point, we need to see 2 proofs of current physical address. That is very easy from the standpoint of your current driver's license, your vehicle registration, insurance information. This is where it can get a little bit complicated. If you've legally changed your name at any point, we will need to see proof of all those name changes. This typically comes in a certified marriage certificate or in a court order. If you need to replace any of your documents at this point, we also have information on our website for vital records and then other places to obtain marriage certificates, etc. By replacing these documents, though, that does take time. So we do encourage people to start the process now to replace these documents, so therefore you can meet the deadline of May 3rd, 2023. We have 3 convenient different ways to obtain a Real ID. You can come into actually a Real ID center. There are 13 locations statewide. That's where you can obtain same-day service, where the card will be printed and handed to you over the counter. You can also visit any PennDOT driver's license center, and you can have your documents verified and imaged, and then you will receive your card in the mail. And if you've taken advantage of our pre-verification option, actually, we have on our website, you can be emailed a link to that if we verify your documents and actually obtain your Real ID online. It'll be sent to you in the mail. Real ID centers, to clarify, we are in one right now. The Somerdale location has actually been built to meet and exceed Department of Homeland security expectations. Therefore, we can provide a product over the counter safely and securely. In addition, for Real ID, you will be paying a one-time opt-in fee into the program. This is also coupled with a renewal of your product, so $32.50 for a 4-year renewal. What will happen is you will pay the $30, you will pay the renewal fee, and then we will add 4 more years onto your existing time on your license. So if you have 2 years remaining on your current product, we will add 4, so therefore you will have a 6-year product. Therefore, you will not have to come back through the process again for that. Your initial Real ID is the first time you pay the fee. There are no additional fees as you move forward. With renewing your product, you'll actually renew it the same way you would any other product. What we do want to say is that on May 3rd, 2023 is when DHS and TSA will be enforcing the Real ID. That's our enforcement deadline. At that point, you will need a Real ID or an alternative form of federally acceptable identification to be able to board domestic aircraft, access to particular federal facilities, and military bases. In addition to that, what we do tell people is that if you choose to use another form of ID versus a Real ID, to please visit the TSA.gov website to find out what those different forms of identification that can be used in lieu of a Real ID before flying. So one final point we want to talk about today is the future of driver licensing products and proof of identity, as we've been discussing today. So the world today functions on technology, and we in PennDOT continue to modernize in every way we possibly can. One of the ways PennDOT is looking at the future is exploring a mobile driver's license, or MDL. An MDL is a driver's license that is provisioned to a mobile device with the capability to be updated in real time. It is comprised of the same data elements that are used to produce physical driver's license. However, this data is transmitted electronically through a relying party's reader device and authenticated. The MDL will offer significant additional benefit to physical credentials, which can be lost or stolen, become broken or damaged, contain outdated information, or offer too much information, including your personally identifiable information. when this is not needed for the requester. We can potentially be replicated by counterfeiters. We are in the early stages in Pennsylvania. We are excited about the future of MDL for driver licensing and proof of identity to serve future needs of our residents. We know the MDL could offer safe, secure, trustable technologies and will allow for completely touchless transactions, selective information release and data protection, and so much more. Deputy Myers, I will turn the podium back to you, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah. So, as I noted, we have Kara Templeton here, who is the Director of Driver Licensing. So she's here to answer any questions you might have about driver licensing. And of course, you heard about the mobile driver's license. We're happy to answer any questions about that. In addition to that, Real ID, if you have any additional questions about that. And for that matter, we also have, we can also demonstrate to you if you'd like to see a fraudulent driver's license. We do have one here that you could film, and there are some parts of it that are covered, because although it's a fraudulent driver's license, the individual who had it is an individual who is a resident here, but has changed their date of birth. So anyway, we'll be happy to show you that. So I don't know what questions you might have, and it depends upon who the expert is here. I'll bring them up.
I had a question about the MDL, actually.
Yes.
So I know that you said it's still in the works right now,
Mm-hmm.
but would that possibly be a future replacement of driver's license, or would that just be simply an enhancer, I guess you could say?
It will be an option for our customers. We need to do a couple of things. We're working right now to be able to test the product to make sure that it does all the things. One of the most important things about an MDL is interoperability. Just like a credit card, if you go to Maryland and you need to show your Pennsylvania driver's license, you want it to work in Maryland. If you go to Europe and you have to present it because you want to rent a car in France or Great Britain, you want to be able to be sure that that's going to work. And so that interoperability is extremely important. And just recently, those standards were codified, if you will, so that anybody who produces a mobile driver's license will have that interoperability. And that's where we're moving forward on. But again, it will be optional. We don't expect there will always be people who will want that physical product. And I can never say never, but maybe 30 years from now, that might be the only product. But certainly in the short term, meaning the next decade, if not longer, there'll be the availability of both products.
Do you expect the MDLs to start voting for people to be able to start getting?
Well, one of the things that has to happen is that we need legislation to allow us to deploy mobile driver's license, because the current vehicle code doesn't allow us to be able to do that. So that's something we're actively working on now to do our best to make sure that that legislation moves forward so that we can, when we're ready, when we have all the technology in place, because keeping in mind, this is a totally different product than what people think it would be. Some people think, oh, well, it's going to look just like a regular driver's license, and it's going to be on my cell phone, and that's not at all the case. This is a trusted, secure product that is on your smart device, that is interactive, if you will, in real-time validation with our database. So, and the other big part of this is the fact that we're developing it so that we want to assure everybody as we develop this that if you do have this option at some point in time when it is available, and again, with the law being changed, it is something that it is very secure in the sense we won't know when you use it. We won't know where you use it at. That's not information we want, nor do we need. And so those are the things that we want to assure people that as we move forward, this is a customer convenience. It's an option for them, and it'll be something that is very secure.
With the Real IDs, I know the deadlines have been pushed back multiple times.
Yes.
Is there any concern about, in March, April, as we get closer to that deadline, seeing a huge flood of people trying to get their real ID?
We certainly expect that there will be some increase in the number of people who will see the deadline and want to come in and get their real ID. Over the years, we positioned ourselves, we built out our organization from the standpoint, this center is an example of one that is brand new, to allow for the influx of customers who might want a real ID. So we feel that we're well positioned to cover any of the potential surge, if you will, leading up to the deadline for real ID.
And I assume, I just want to clarify, does the Real ID Center, do those exist, do those locations exist like on their website?
Yes, they do. They do. And we have 13 centers across the state like this one where a real ID can be issued over the counter. You can still go to any of our other driver licensing centers. They can handle your paperwork. The only thing is that because of the requirements of the Department of Homeland Security at the federal level, they don't have all the necessary issues addressed from the standpoint of security. They're highly secure locations, but they're not at the Real ID standards, and so they can't issue it over the counter. It can't be printed there, and those are mailed to individuals. Any other questions?
Maria?
And as I said, Brent does have a that we can show you if you're interested in seeing what a fraudulent driver's license looks like. So, okay. If not, we're happy to do one-on-one interviews, whatever. It's up to you all. But thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.
You do not need to replace your driver's license. The license that you currently have or ID card product that you currently have is remaining valid through its expiration date. If you choose to get the new features, you can get a duplicate. However, it is not necessary, as both the current product and our new product that is currently being deployed are both acceptable during their validity periods.
We're pleased to be here today to remind our residents the driver license and identification products are in the process of transitioning into a new design with some additional security enhancements of our Pennsylvania driver's license and identification card. Penndot takes its role as stewards of public safety very seriously for both the Commonwealth roadways as more about our security features and fraud prevention. Brent?
Good morning. As Deputy Secretary Myers mentioned, I am Brent Lawson, and I'm the Risk Management Director for Driver Security Features that improve fraud prevention, protect from counterfeiting, and alteration. Some of these enhanced security features include a Diush security design, which is a feature that includes optically variable ghost portrait and variable data with UV. These are features that change their appearance when the viewing angle of the car changes, which moves them from fully visible to non-visible.
We encourage you to encourage our customers to visit our website at www.penndot.pa.gov, where you will find a lot of helpful information.
You go ahead and flip around the back.
Is it picking it up? The image?
What's that?
Is it picking the image up? Good.
Turn it off.